Are you a perfectly normal person with perfectly normal shit happening in your life? Great! Then you might need a life coach. That's right. In this episode, we're going to go over 3 reasons why you should get a life coach. Hey guys, I'm Sasha, and this is the place to be to get educated and entertained about all things life coaching. Now we're going to get into 3 reasons why you should get a life coach. Before we get into those 3 reasons, let me just tell you that before I started my own journey with IPEC to become a certified professional coach and had a life coach of my own, I really didn't understand the value of life coaching. Like, I would call my friends and my family and I would be like, well, what do I do with my life? Or help me with this drama or with that drama. And I would expect them to give me all the answers or help me to figure out what the heck I was doing. But that's not their job. What that is the job of a life coach. A well-trained coach will come into a relationship with a client with a process or a program or a specific set of questions that they're going to ask that client so that that client can understand their own perspective and then shift it if they need to, if they fall into any one of these 3 categories that we're going to get into here in just a second. And when I started working with my life coach, so many changes happened, and I'm going to get into that with some funny examples in just a minute. But it is incredible when you start to kind of think about your life and who you are and what you want in a different way. And you have someone who holds you accountable, who helps you to be more motivated, who helps you with your ambition and things like that, which are all things that a life coach does. It's incredible what you can accomplish. So anyway, let's get into the 3 reasons why you should get a life coach. All right, number 1, you are stuck. It's like you've got a little guy over here telling you something and another little guy over here telling you something. You're like, what the heck do? I got this, I can't figure it out. I'm constantly stuck. It's like peanut butter and jelly, but even stickier, but not as delicious.
It's peanut butter jelly time!
So, how many of us have been there? I know I have so many times. Maybe you are stuck and the topic is a relationship, which is hard to talk about, I know. But man, oh man, if I had a life coach I could think of at least 3 relationships where I was like, should I stay? Should I go? Should I stay? Should I go? Probably wouldn't have wasted 2, 3, whatever years in relationships where I really wasn't even happy anyway, but I was just too afraid to make the leap for some reason. Or another example is maybe you're in a job that you just hate, is draining you. But if you were to quit and follow your dreams or quit and get another job, well, that's just terrifying. Who knows what's on the other end? Let me just tell you that my job that I had just quit recently, I wanted to leave that job for a year. And it wasn't necessarily because of the people or the company, but just because it didn't align with who I was or what I wanted to be. And for 365 plus days, I was a straight up lunatic, just so unhappy and just so stuck because I knew I wanted to leave, but could I leave the 6-figure salary? Could I leave my title? Could I leave the connections? Well, ultimately, after working with a life coach, I realized I got this, and I left. Another example is maybe you want to join the circus and travel the world, and you also kind of want to stay in your hometown and open up a hot dog stand because who doesn't love hot dog stands? I know I do. And you just can't figure out what you want to do. Well, again, a life coach is going to help you to kind of discern between what voices are the fear and anxiety and what voices are the intuition so that you can make that decision and stop feeling so peanut butter jelly stuck all the time. Second reason that you might want to get a life coach, you're unhappy. You got no food, you got no job.
Your pet's heads are falling off.
In all seriousness, there are so many reasons why we might be unhappy. Again, I know when I was in the job that I was miserable at, I was always fighting with my husband, who was my fiance at the time, just angry at myself. You know, maybe you find that you are yelling more at your kids or you're not doing the things that you used to love to do because just something feels unsettled. You realize that you need to change or something in your life needs to change and you can't quite put your finger on it. That's when you call a life coach because they're going to help to uncover all that crap that's in your way so that you can make that change that you need to make in your life. Now, just to be clear, I am not talking about like clinical depression or anxiety or any of those very serious mental health disorders or issues. If you're experiencing anything like that, then I highly recommend that you work with some sort of professional, medical professional. But if you realize that what you really need is to align your life to your values, to the things that you want most that you're just not experiencing right now, that's when you want to work with a life coach. So again, for example, maybe you really value freedom and spending time with your family. And instead of getting to spend time with them, you're working 60, 70 hours a week in a shitty office with no window. Like, no wonder you're so freaking pale and miserable all the time. Am I right? Well, a life coach is going to help work with you to say, you know what, Sally, you really value freedom. You really value your family. How do we look to change what's going on with your work schedule, change what's going on with your work life so that you can have more time for the things that you want in your life? Or maybe you're like a super creative person, and instead of getting to, paint with all the colors of the wind, you're clicking away on your computer all day long working in IT. I mean, again, whatever it is, a life coach can help to uncover some of those values that maybe you've forgotten about, or maybe you just haven't been able to tap into in a while. And they're going to help bring more of those values into your life so that you can generally feel much happier with kind of what you're doing, either professionally or personally or in your relationship. And the third reason you want to get a life coach is because you're already happy. Yes, that's right. You could even get a life coach when things are going great in your life. And here's why. Because when you're already in a really high, energetic, super happy place, then you're going to be way more open for growth. You're going to be able to, as Beyonce says, upgrade your life. And that's what we're all ultimately looking for. There's so many people out there who say, I already love my job, but I want to know, how do I take it to the next level? How do I prepare for growth in my career? Or things are going so great in my relationship, but I really want to look 5-10 years down the road. What can I do now to prepare for the awesomeness that's going to unfold? Or maybe I already have the best friends in the entire world, but I really want to diversify my network. I want to get to know even more people internationally, whatever it is. A life coach is going to be able to work with you to put an action plan in place and hold you accountable to that action plan so you can really go from good to great. So it comes down to this, you guys. If you're stuck or unhappy, or maybe you're super happy, but you want to change something in your life and you want someone to help you with accountability and action planning, that's when you want to call a life coach. I hope this video was helpful for you, and now you know 3 big reasons why you should work with a life coach. If you have any other questions about life coaching or coaching in general, feel free to drop a comment below. I'll also include my email in the description box and you can reach me there. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.